Great. Here's the cinematic romantic comedy story in American English, based on your outline. Parker got hit by Cupid's arrow. Aurelia falls in love with Parker. Sprunki animation. Love struck Parker and the arrow of chaos. It was the day of the Sprunki Love Festival. Hearts floating through the air like bubbles, glowing arrows of affection zooming overhead, and Cupid-themed pigs called key pigs, fluttering around with tiny bows and glittery wings. Parker couldn't have cared less. He sat on a bench near the smoothie stand, arms crossed, brows furrowed, clearly annoyed by the heart-shaped everything surrounding him. Love is a scam, he muttered, sipping his cactus berry shake. Not far from him, Aurelia, the bold, sharp-tongued, logic-driven Sprunky, was marching past couples like she was on a warpath. These people need therapy, not chocolate, she grumbled, dodging a heart balloon that tried to attach itself to her wrist. They were both known for being emotionally unavailable and completely immune to the so-called magic of romance. But as fate, or rather a mischievous flying pig, would have it, that was about to change. Up in the clouds, one particularly chaotic Kupik named Milo was practicing his aim. Target, couple holding paws by the donut cart. And, oops, twy! The arrow missed the couple completely and spiraled downward, fast. It zipped across the festival, bounced off a love-shaped fountain, ricocheted off a candy cart, and they say, thunk, right into Parker's butt. He jumped, yelped, and spilled his smoothie on his pants. Before he could react, he looked up, and his eyes met Aurelia. Everything slowed down. The background blurred. Hearts popped in his vision. A harp played from nowhere. Aurelia, annoyed and oblivious, brushed past him without noticing. But Parker, he was done. Toast, head over heels in less than 3 seconds. I'm in love, he whispered, eyes wide. That was the start of a very strange day. Parker suddenly became romantic, creepy romantic. He wrote poetry, bad poetry. He offered Aurelia flowers. Half of them were weeds. He tried to serenade her using a ukulele made of carrots. Aurelia stared at him like he was infected. What is wrong with you? She asked, arms crossed. You. You're what's right with me, he said with a dramatic sigh. She almost slapped him, but instead she stormed off to do some investigating, because Aurelia didn't believe in sudden feelings, and she definitely didn't trust Parker's googly-eyed stares. It didn't take her long to find out. He'd been struck by a Cupid arrow. Specifically, Milo's misfire. Typical, she hissed. Love magic. But something bugged her. Even when Parker wasn't looking, even when the arrow should have worn off, he was still acting strange, like genuinely caring, like someone who really felt something. And that's when Kupik Milo appeared. Oh, don't blame the arrow, he said while munching a heart-shaped cookie. Those arrows don't create love. They just nudge people toward what's already there. What? Aurelia blinked. You heard me. If he's acting like a lovesick muffin, it's 'cause he already liked you. The arrow just gave him the guts to admit it. Aurelia was stunned. She sat alone, watching Parker from afar as he gently placed a flower crown on a stray kitten and whispered something like, even cats deserve poetry. He looked ridiculous. Sweet, nervous, and completely sincere. So she did what any rational, totally not in love girl would do. She confronted him. You're free from the arrow now, she said, arms folded. Parker blinked. I am? She nodded. So, do you still like me? He paused. He then stepped closer. I liked you before the arrow. I just didn't know how to say it. You're smart. You're brave. You're allergic to everything pink. And I think you're perfect. Aurelia rolled her eyes, then kissed him on the cheek. I still think Cupid is the dumbest invention ever, she muttered. But I like you too. The festival ended with fireworks made of candy hearts and glittery noodles. Parker and Aurelia danced awkwardly, stepping on each other's feet, but laughing the whole time. In the background, Milo the Cupid aimed his last arrow, accidentally shooting himself. He turned and fell in love with a tree. Typical, Aurelia said. Parker grinned and held her hand, and under a giant glowing arch of heart-shaped sprinkles, a sign shimmered in the air. True love isn't cast by magic, it's sparked by courage.